in Vietnam and turned his efforts to winning economic rights for poor Americans. He was a leader of the American Civil Rights Movement and organized a number of peaceful protests as head of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, including the March on Washington in 1963. He was assassinated in Memphis, Tennessee on April 4th, 1968.
At TVC News, wherever the big news story is happening, we're geared up to break it. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Hello and welcome to Marketing Edge on TV, Nigeria's leading initiative in the business of brand management and in the management of brand business. It is an awesome 30 minutes package that comprises brand news, brand in focus, and industry conversation, all in a mix encompassing thorough and in-depth, all aimed at promoting the brand idea. I am Oluwabukola Omani.
Marketing Edge on TV, promoting the brand idea.
Good to have you back. First on Marketing Edge on TV is brand news, where we bring you the latest developments around brands and in the field of marketing, advertising and communication in Nigeria and around the world. Now on brand news.
Respect your name.
In a bid to foster customer loyalty and give back to subscribers, SpectraNet, the leading internet service provider in Nigeria, has launched SpectraNet Jara. The internet service provider says with the launch of SpectraNet Jara, all data recharges done across all SpectraNet renewal channels, such as the self-care portal, mobile apps, exclusive shop and authorized dealer outlets, will now be eligible to receive loyalty points of up to 10% of the total value of the recharge. Explaining its modus operandi during the launch at SpectraNet's headquarters in Ikeja, Lagos, the Chief Executive Officer, Manish Kulshestra, disclosed that the Jara initiative will enable customers acquire loyalty points up to 10% of every data recharge done, irrespective of the plan selected. He added that SpectraNet Jara is a special offer to say thank you to all our customers for sticking with the brand throughout the years.
In these present times, we need to really take care of our customers, of our channel partners, and of ourselves. So this loyalty schemes gives the opportunity for the customers to understand that SpectraNet is giving them back to them. 10% is a whooping amount which we are trying and giving back every month with every recharge. For the channel partner, it is going to be the time and opportunity to reach to their own customers. They can go, they can talk, they can be attached with the customers, engaging the customers out there. So these are two very important things which SpectraNet have again pioneered and we have been the #1 ISP all across. We have got 60% of youth comprising here who requires the telecom connectivity for their daily needs, for their education, for their family members, for their food, because we have been going online. So SpectraNet is playing a major role in the lives of youths of Nigeria, and we wanted to give it back. That's where, we stand today and we are launching the Loyalty Zara scheme to all our customers and for all our channel partners.
So this is the significance of Jara. It's the market language and it's very, very strong. We are all what's it called? Yes, we patronize Jara a lot. And a whole lot of customers, dealers out there gain extra customer because of Jara. So it's very, very big, it's huge. What it means is that the size of your business will grow by 10%, over and above your normal growth.
First Bank Nigerian Holdings PLC, a diversified financial services group, is glad to announce that its financial report recorded 206 billion naira profit before tax in the first half of the year. The bank also states that a 6-month report for the period, which ended 30th June 2023, indicated that its gross earnings and profits before tax rose to 656.6 billion naira and 206.3 billion naira respectively. The Group Managing Director of FBN Holdings PLC, Nnamdi Okonkwo, said the company has continued to deliver a strong financial performance despite the complex operating environment due to its reinforced foundations, deep market understanding, strong risk management, and execution capabilities. The MD furthermore reiterated the bank's commitment to leveraging technology via digital platforms to enhance operational efficiency. A report by Verified Market Research recently projects that the future market outlook for global detergent market industry size is expected to reach $98.6 billion by 2030, while growing at a cumulative annual growth rate of 4.8% from 2023 to 2030, respectively. The marketing research firm also says that though laundry detergent market size was valued at $64.7 billion in 2021, its profound growth is propelled by various market dynamics and other scenarios which have been responsible for its growth opportunities. It further noted that factors such as product innovation and the use of a good quality ingredient are contributing to the crucial aspect of the rise in the market revenue of detergent. Meanwhile, in the local scene, Nigeria's detergent market is expected to grow at a cumulative annual growth rate of around 4.5% during the forecast period of 2020 to 2026. And this growth is attributed to the increasing urbanization, rising disposable income, rapid industrialization, government initiatives for promoting domestic production and exports in the country, as well as growing demand from rural areas due to increasing awareness about personal hygiene products. Leading global agencies in the integrated marketing communications, Publicis Group, and Omnicom have revealed that despite the continued macroeconomic challenges across the globe, they have been able to record an organic growth for the first half of the year. Both companies said the remarkable increase was attributed to the growth of technology, artificial intelligence, and data. Publicis Group, while disclosing this, said it grew 7.1% organically in the second quarter, matching its first quarter performance and prompting the holding company to upgrade its growth guidance for the full year to 5%, which is from earlier result of 3% to 5%. In another development, Omnicom Incorporated, also in its second quarter, made a profit of $366.3 million on a per-share basis. Omnicom says the total revenue in the second quarter of 2023 increased by $42.7 million with 1.2% to $3,609.9 million. That was brand news. Next is Brand in Focus after this break.
Where's Glory?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Glow! Where Glow now?
I dare you.
Glow, don't go village. Tell all our customer.
Everybody pay attention. See, now Glow dedicated 10x. Now they dash me 10 times the credits when I load. Or even summer me double data join.
Yeah. Wait, so with 1.5 when they give all of us, so you they enjoy up to 15,000 naira credit and data.
And I say I never finish you. See, now say if we enjoy if I join Glow dedicated 10x. And I will get 1,000 naira welcome credit. You just carry your phone, dial *777#. Finish.
Correct.
Glow, you don't win. You don't do. Oh, now see they here.
Please, I'm looking for Glow. We said now Glow be they fine. Now Glow be they go. Okay, so
enjoy 10 times the value of your recharge on Glow Berekete 10X. You also get 1,000 naira for calls and data and double data bonus on your subscription.
Marketing Edge on TV, promoting the bright idea.
Now on branding focus. Contrary to the bout of optimism that greeted the early part of Nigeria's election year and hopes that the headwinds of inflation encountered in 2022 will be in the rear vision mirror, the first half of 2023 didn't end in an upbeat note. However, Nigeria is not alone in these challenges. Amidst global challenges such as the Russia-Ukraine war, supply chain disruptions, and soaring food and energy prices, global growth is forecast by the World Economic Forum to slow by 2.7% in 2023. This instability has undermined real incomes, triggering a global cost of living crisis, particularly for vulnerable groups. Moreover, the rise in interest rates could further exacerbate an already dire situation and trigger a global recession. Strike a conversation with a group of marketing professionals and business leaders, and the one thing just about everyone can agree on is that 2023 is a stark contrast to 2022. In almost every segment and category, market momentum has shifted and created some challenges, making it necessary for chief marketing officers and their industry practitioners to recalibrate. Globally, without a doubt, the business environment is in a state of flux and market dynamics are no different in 2023. Businesses that can successfully navigate these changes will be the ones that will recalibrate and thrive. With a mid-year marketing communications plan review, business leaders can make the necessary updates to refresh their efforts for the second half of the year. But they must review marketing results for the first half of 2023 against key performance indicators and make adjustments. See what has been accomplished and what has not been accomplished. Review what's working and what isn't working. They should also assess and allocate resources against the most crucial or profitable campaigns and initiatives. The era of lone combatants has ended. It is now time to collaborate, open up and work together to find solutions, offering previously uncovered answers. Now is the time for brands and businesses to regroup with their agency partners, refresh or adjust their marketing plans, and move forward in the most focused way possible to ensure that resources, priorities, and measurements are aligned through the end of the year. That was Brand in Focus. Next is Industry Conversation, where we have discussions with industry thought leaders who have distinguished themselves in the business of brand management and in the management of brand business. Today, we're going to be talking with the lead strategist at Absolute PR, AKONTE, EKINE, just after the break.
Marketing Edge on TV, promoting the brand idea.
And now we'll move to the industry conversation. And today with me is the lead strategist at Absolute PR, Mr. AKONTE, EKINE. Nice to meet you, sir.
Same here.
And congratulations on the maiden edition of your awards program.
Thank you.
Great. Okay, so I wanted to ask you, how would you assess, what would be the highlights that you took away from the maiden edition of the awards?
Okay, so the learnings are numerous. They are professionals and individual. But in the midst of everything, one of the things that we actually took away is one, never to depend on anybody, but to trust solely in God to get the things done properly. And then trust is a major issue in this environment. I think we are familiar with that. There is also the part where you think of finance, and because again the environment it's almost new to this idea of trying to put accounts to numbers and activities. We had an acceptance issue, but we lived with what we got and we made a success out of it, which is why we are trying to do the second edition.
Okay, great. So what would you say was the major feedback you got from the maiden edition of the Consumer Value Awards?
I think there is a high interest in this environment to hear consumers speak out. The findings from the numbers of the last edition was simply that for the first time, people can validate the claim about awards, you know. So that's a major feedback for us.
Great. Okay, so if I may ask, to what extent did the maiden edition set the, you know, the motion of the accomplishment of the vision that the award itself was set to achieve?
I think it's too early to start saying if it did set the motion, but what it did actually was what somebody described as a proof of it's like a thesis, something you are trying to test the exercise. So it gave us a platform to test acceptability, you know, proof of evidence that this has happened and it could happen. You know, the idea is first and foremost to put the consumer rights in the face of the consumer and the regulator so that we get better service experience, we get better interaction in the marketplace. And for the very first time, this activity called out brands that were supposedly seen as responsible brands in the marketplace. So we are just trying to open the first layer of the aspiration of the exercise, which is to bring consumer rights conversation to the fore of the market.
Great. So talking about this year's 2023 Consumer Value Awards, which is the second edition. Now, what is the extent, like, what extent is it building and improving on the maiden edition? Like, what do you intend to do better in this year's awards?
Okay, so because we have said to ourselves that we are trying to get consumer conversations out there appropriately and then looking at consumer rights, we have also looked in our environment and we are saying to ourselves that there are people that are supposed to be role models and champions in consumer conversations in government circle, in public space, in private space. So we want to use them as a platform. So for instance, after the end of our voting, we will open a general public voting on Facebook for any governor in this country that deserves to be recognized as Consumer Rights Advocate Governor of the Year. You know, because it is the responsibility of the states to also activate consumer rights information and offices. And I think a few states are already trying their best. So if we see a governor, we want to recognize the governor and use that to drive that conversation so that the public will also know that they have rights. A lot of people don't even know about these consumer rights, and that's what we want to do. So based on our learning, the first time we focused on just the brands and the people around the brands. But now we're extending to the governor and agencies. We are going to search for agencies in this country that are actually trying to get consumers to enjoy their rights.
Okay, great. So I wanted to ask, what should consumers, brands, and other strategists, what should they be looking at for in this year's CVA Awards?
Okay, so the first thing is that they should be grateful that consumers even nominated them. The last edition, we didn't get up to 100 nominations. This time, we have over 300 brands nominated, you know. And out of the 300 brands, we virtually classified into 52 different categories. So I think any brand that is nominated should be happy that they made that list. That list itself is a winner's list. The other part is that if the brand is nominated and goes ahead to win, does qualify to wear an interesting badge, a badge of honor. There are very few brands in the world that can claim that consumers voted for them. Yeah, they might be selling, they might be making their sales, but can you have a brand that says, yes, consumers truly certify us? And it's the best person that can certify anything is the man that consumes it and can truly say so. So what they should be looking forward to is to say, oh, they will get this certificate of consumers' vote of confidence.
Great. So for this year's categories of awards, to what extent have they been streamlined or have they been expanded?
Okay, so we've moved from just 30 categories to 52 different categories. Consumers nominated over 300 brands, like I said, and out of the 300 brands, the new circle, we have a pension fund, we have tech, we have even margarine butter in it, you know. So we've got a list of baskets based on consumers' expression of interest in nominations. So we've increased to 52 different categories. And we had to send out letters to over 300 companies, just telling them that, look, you've been nominated, and it's important you take advantage of it.
Okay, great. So are there any categories that are exciting for the brands or for the public?
Well, the excitement is in the numbers. It's in the numbers. I would say in the cement category, for instance, the brand that won last year is under threat. You know, in the detergent category, the brand that also won last year is not even getting the numbers. You understand? This is a consumers voting, not us. We're just looking at it, and it's open to everybody to see. You know, if you go to, there are big brands, you know, very interesting big brands that are just, for the first time, I'm seeing that they're actually not even commanding that level of interest. And it's amazing that these brands are even cocky in the marketplace. You can see from their attitude. One of the things that is coming up in the voting that we're seeing is that the behavior of the brands in the marketplace to consumer is reflecting in the way people are voting. You know, some brands claim to be market leaders, holding on their old traditional designation. And smaller brands, supposedly smaller brands or younger brands in the market, are taking the lead, you know, in terms of the numbers of votes. So it's there for all to see. And if any brand is interested in contesting that, they can just go to the site. It's very transparent.
Okay, great. So still talking about the Consumers Value Awards for this year. So I wanted to ask you, from your experience of the CVA project, has there been any improvement in the responses of brand owners, you know, agencies and other strategic stakeholders to the Consumer Value Awards?
Okay, so this is the second edition. The beauty of life is that growth is allowed. So one of the things we discovered last year was that we got to certain places, they said, oh, our letters came too late. So we tried to start early enough, and we got one of the very first set of government agencies that responded to us is the Nigeria Communications Commission. They have pledged support, they've called, we've exchanged mails. It shows that people are accepting us. That's one. The Federal Consumer Competition and Consumer and Competition Protection Agency, Commission rather, has also initiated a conversation. We are hoping that it will give us a positive ending, you know. They were there last year, but this year we are saying, let's do this thing together. The Lagos State Consumer Protection Agency has also pledged some form of commitment, you know, to the success of the program. And these are things that never happened in the first phase. So as much as possible, we have also written to the Standard Organization of Nigeria, we've written to NAFDAC, they were there last year, for support, for assistance in the form of take advantage of this thing. Because what we are doing is helping consumers to know brands that are delivering on value and also helping to sanitize the market in our own little way.
That's correct. Okay, so for this year's CVA event, like, what's the format going to be like? Is the venue going to stay the same as last year? The timing? What date exactly are we looking at for this year's CVA? Okay,
so it's going to happen on the 7th of September, and it's going to happen at the Radisson Blue Hotel. You know, and one thing that is going to change is the theme of this year is Consumer Satisfaction Index. That is the theme of this year. Some people say Consumer Satisfaction Index is a myth, some say it's a reality. But I want to use the voting to express that statement, that truly there is a Consumer Satisfaction Index. But it varies to consumers from consumer A to consumer B.
Okay, so let me ask, what is the unique thing about the CVA Awards?
Okay, so look around you. There are numerous awards. But I'm not sure in my short years of practicing that I've seen any award with a platform like ours. First, we ask you as consumers to name any brand that you think deserve an award. The choice is in the hands of the consumer. The power to choose, in the practical sense of it, to label a consumer as good, a brand as good or bad, is in the hand of the consumer. And ultimately, what we have done is to create a court where the consumer itself is the judge and the jury. We don't need any outsider. If you contest what we are saying, if you don't like it, we will ask you to go to court. Which court do you want to go to? Go to the consumer's court. So eventually we will have a consumer's court. But for now, this is an open field consumer court for consumers to say your brand is good. And I will tell you, in the carbonated drinks market, a brand is flawed completely. It is so-called big brand. It's flawed completely. And I can tell you from the little I have seen, because every time we see result like this, and it's open to everybody on the, we see result like this, we directly go into the market to even see what's happening on the shelf. And we see people respond to these things, you know. So it's an opportunity for even brands to say, guys, you're actually doing an health check for us without we paying for it. That's what we are doing. So I'm not sure there is an award in this environment done by the consumers, for the consumers, with the consumers, and everything consumers.
Marketing Edge on TV, promoting the bright idea.
And that's the much we can take on this episode of Marketing Edge on TV. Join us for the concluding part of our conversation with AKONTE EKINE, same time next week. I am Oluwabukola Omoni.
Never miss a moment. Instant breaking news from all over the globe. Live streaming of your favorite programs delivered directly to you. Watch anytime from anywhere on your mobile or smart devices. Download the TVC News app today. Available on Google Play and Apple Store.
Join me, Precious Amayo, as I bring you news from the epicenter, where it happens and when it happens, staying on top of every breaking story, minute by minute, right at the hour when the city gets busy and just before it sleeps. We're live from every angle with objective insight and analysis. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Our planet, our home, threatened by man's activities, with fears of mass extinction on the rise. On Green Angle, we examine the issues that affect our environment, seek solutions to put us on track to secure and restore a cleaner and greener world for generations to come.
Maya Angelou was a civil rights activist, poet, and award-winning author known for her acclaimed 1969 memoir, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, and her numerous poetry and essay collections. Angelou was born on April 4, 1928 in St. Louis, Missouri. Angelou had a difficult childhood. Her parents split up when she was very young. Around the 1960s, Angelou lived in Ghana working as an editor and a freelance writer. Angelou also held a position at the University of Ghana for a time before she joined a community of revolutionist returnees exploring Pan-Africanism and became close with human rights activist and black nationalist leader Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. In 1961, Angelou appeared in an off-Broadway production of Jean Gennett's The Blacks with James L. Jones, Lou Gossett Jr. and Cicely Tyson, and went on to earn a Tony Award nomination for her role in the play Look Away, 1973, and an Emmy Award nomination for her work on the television miniseries Roots, 1977, among other honors. Angelou's career has seen numerous accolades, including the Chicago International Film Festival's 1998 Audience Choice Award and a nod from the Acapulco Black Film Festival in 1999 for Down in the Delta. She published 7 autobiographies, 3 books of essays, several books of poetry, and is credited with a list of plays, movies, more than 50 honorary degrees, and television shows spanning over 50 years. She also won 2 NAACP Image Awards in the Outstanding Literary Work Non-Fiction category for her 2005 cookbook and 2008 Letter to My Daughter. After experiencing health issues for a number of years, Angelou died on May 28, 2014 at her home in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. In May 2021, it was announced that Angelou will be one of the first women to be commemorated with a new series of quarters from the U.S. Mint.